Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 30. The Wishing Well. Martha's Perspective. So we can't see Sammy? I ask Danny, who stands up and begins following Tori. Nope, just her, he answers. Weird, Curie says. Usually you can see ghosts, at least a little bit. All of us walk over to Tori and Danny, and Tori is having a conversation with what looks like herself. Wait, really? She says, both scared and excited. What did she say? Danny asks immediately. I'm assuming we're all wondering what Sammy saw, what happened to Connor. Guys, Connor is alive, Tori tells us, but he's really hurt and we have to go get him. She looks back to the air, listening. He's about 2 miles from here. We can make it. Dixie's face perks up, standing behind Tori. Sammy, what way? She asks. This way, just through the narrow path, Tori tells us, pointing to what is definitely a narrow path. It's barely wide enough for one person to walk through it at a time. Bristly brown corn stands on both sides, taller than the usual corn stalks here. Are we sure Sammy isn't secretly evil and is trying to lure us to our death? I whisper to Kiri, hoping no one else heard me. Like I said, I'm not a fan of ghosts, he whispers back. But I'll go wherever you go, okay, buddy? I shudder. What if Sammy is fooling us? But at the same time, if there is a chance that Connor is okay, we owe it to him to try. Danny, Dixie, and Tori all decide they'll go after Connor while Kiri and I enter the ghost trail to search for the wishing well. The legend says that all the items must be thrown into the wishing well to break the curse. But there's no time to waste. So Kiri and I will have to find it, come back to the entrance of the forest, then show the others where it is. Why are we the ones who have to spend more time with the ghosts? Kiri says, his shoulders dropping as he pouts. Tori just giggles at him, patting his back. You're a big, scary werewolf. I think you can handle it, she tells him with absolutely no sympathy. Stay safe, Danny tells us. You too, I respond. Dixie gives me a hug, and we part ways. Dark green and light blue fog creeps in and out of the dried-out trees. The branches hang low and twist around one another. Although it was warm in the cornstalks, the woods hold an unnerving chill. Kiri stays close to my side. I'm not sure if it's because he is scared or wants to protect me. It could be both. Far off, bat shrieks and other spooky sounds fills the atmosphere. Now living through what I have, I'm amazed at how I used to like reading about places like this. See anything? Kiri whispers, stepping over a pile of twigs. Nothing but trees, I reply. The sound of a large branch breaking crashes just a few yards behind us. Kiri and I both freeze, slowly turning around. A 7-foot jack-o'-lantern man pauses. A huge grin covers his face, his arms stretched out wide as if he's about to give us a hug. His dark, hollowed-out eyes tighten, staring us down. I panic. Is he friendly? Is he going to eat us? Should I run? I look to Kiri, who also freezes. Friends, he says in an overly happy tone. Come to my pumpkin patch with me. You'll love it there. Kiri's eyes grow bigger. I remember this guy. He turns people into pumpkins, Kiri says. What? I scream. We should run, Kiri says, grabbing my hand and bolting. The tall, lengthy character runs after us, his arms reaching out. Come back, friends, his voice staying eerily friendly. The trees continue to twist and curl around each other, making it incredibly difficult to run through. Although my feet drag behind me, Kiri hasn't let go of my hand, so I feel like a flying kite. You'll make such a good addition to my collection, the terrifying jack-o'-lantern calls out, gaining on us. Kiri yells as the ground falls out from beneath our feet and him and I slip into a hole. Hitting the bottom, I try to regain the air in my lungs. Sorry, Kiri says as dirt and sticks fall on us. Brushing off my shoulders, I launch backwards as two long arms reach for me. Come out, he pleads. I just want friends. You'll be such a pretty pumpkin. I scoot back as much as I can, hitting Kiri behind me. Kiri, move, I cry. I can't, I've hit the wall, he says, grabbing me tightly. The arms stretch further, swinging around to feel for me. I try to squirm back as much as possible, but there's no use. His hands grab my dress, tugging on it, trying to lift me out of the hole. Kiri! I scream. Don't let me go! Kiri's arms wrap around my waist as he plants his feet to the ground. I got you, he shouts. Hang on! I hit and kick, attempting to break the jack-o'-lantern's grip. I decide biting is my best option. As gross as it is, I lean down and bite his arm as hard as I can until I taste blood. The jack-o'-lantern cries out and lets go. Good job, Kiri says, still holding me just a little less tightly. I take a deep breath, hoping that was the last of that guy. Suddenly, the ground above us is broken through, crumbling onto our heads. We fall to our stomach, faces in the dirt. You thought you could escape that easily? The jack-o'-lantern says, grabbing me from the collapsed hole. I scream and kick as the jack-o'-lantern drags me by my legs. Kiri doesn't seem to respond, and I notice a large log landed on his head. I'm on my own. Tori's perspective. Sammy leads the way through this very tight path. It's brown and dry, basically lifeless. How come you guys took this path? I ask Sammy, looking at the unusual route. It's a shortcut. Just be careful of the bugs. My face tightens. Bugs? I repeat. Bugs? Dixie asks. What about bugs? Danny walks at the back of the line, nudging us to keep moving forward. There are large bugs that feed on corpses, but they'll settle for live prey if needed, Sammy says casually. Hurry now, we're getting close. What about the bugs? Dixie asks again. Oh, sorry. Sammy says there are flesh-eating bugs in this path, so let's hurry, I encourage. Dixie nods anxiously, and the two of us speed walk. Danny seems to pick up on our change in speed and follows behind. The trail leads to a gap in the cornfield, basically just a circle of dirt. Laying off to the side is Connor, scratched head to toe, several bruises, and his clothes are stained with blood. Oh my gosh! Dixie runs to Connor's side, rolling him to his back. I'm here! We're here, Connor! Danny and I watch helplessly, hoping he'll respond. I tried to keep him going, letting him know I was there through blowing the wind around him and tugging at his shirt. I even tried to carry him, but I couldn't make it very far, Sammy tells me. Dixie wipes the dirt and blood off his face, shaking his shoulders, attempting to wake him up. Come on, Connor, wake up, Danny mutters under his breath. I take what little water I have and pour some onto his face. His nose twitches and his lips move. Dixie gasps and shakes his shoulders again. Hi, Connor mumbles. Danny and I sigh in relief while Dixie gives him a big hug. Ouch, he says, wincing. Oh, sorry, Dixie says, letting go. What are you guys doing here? Connor says, taking a deep breath, grabbing his chest in pain. We came to get you, of course, Danny says, trying to hold back his smile. Aw, he's grown to like Connor. Sammy came and got us, I tell him. She was with you the whole time. I know. I was talking to her, Connor says, laughing. I felt crazy, but I was pretty sure she was there. Are you able to walk? Danny asks. I don't mean to rush things, but we only have tonight. Connor wiggles his legs and stretches his arms, slowly coming back to life. I'm not sure, but I'll try. Connor, how did you escape? Dixie asks, helping him sit up. Well, after pushing you off the ledge, I was swarmed by zombies. I did my best to fight them off, giving you guys more time to escape, but it didn't take much for them to overpower me. I was pretty torn up. His eyes close as he takes another deep breath, still holding his ribs. Then, when I thought I was a goner, a gush of wind came and pulled me away. It dragged me off the cliff, but caught me, so I knew it was Sammy. I give Sammy a grateful smile, and she smiles back. She dragged me to a hidden cave within the cave, and we waited for the zombies to pass. Once I was well enough to walk, we headed here, but my body was too weak. I guess I ended up fainting because that's all I remember. I'm sorry, Connor. Dixie rests her head on his shoulder. We should have come back to look for you. I thought I saw you die. Tears fall down her cheeks and onto Connor's shirt. No, it's not your guys' fault, he says, lifting up her head. It's okay, but Danny is right. We should get moving. I can't promise I'll be very fast. Kiri's perspective. The smell of dirt fills my nostrils. I cough it out in disgust, coming back to my body as a pounding feeling sets in my head. Kiri! I hear Martha scream. I look from side to side, but she's nowhere in sight. I leap out of the hole, landing on all fours. I notice the sun is setting and the moon is finding its place in the sky. Could it move a little faster? I can feel my claws and fur begin to grow as the night crawls closer. The jack-o'-lantern races away, Martha dragged behind him. Racing after them, I keep getting caught on branches and logs, so I climb a tree and leap from one to the other, leaving claw marks behind as I go. Martha! I call out, howling. Finally, I've been able to catch up with them. Jumping from the tree above them, I shift in the air to full werewolf. A deep growl comes out, gaining the attention of the jack-o'-lantern monster. He turns around, for once his smile turning to horror. Allowing myself to tap into my animal side, I tackle him to the ground, using my back paw to gently push Martha away, out of his grasp. The last thing the jack-o'-lantern sees is a huge mouth full of sharp teeth before I tear his head to shreds. You okay? I ask, rushing to Martha's side. She sits up, wiping the mud and leaves off her face and out of her hair. She nods, jumping into my sort of arms. Thank you, she says, then springs to her feet. Kiri, look! It's the wishing well! She points to her right, and there in the haunted forest lies the old stone wishing well. Perfect, I say, walking to it. Wait. Martha stops, standing near the well, looking around us. How will we be able to know where we are? And she's right. We were too busy running away that we didn't keep track of where we were going. We could follow my claw marks back, I suggest. I know that will only get us to the hole we fell in, but it's a start. She plops down on the side of the well, stretching her leg. Sounds like a plan to me. Martha takes her time but stands again, tightening the straps to her backpack. We'll work our way back. There's probably a track of footsteps. So we do just that, following the damaged trees, looking out for any other wandering creatures we'd prefer to avoid. They better be waiting at that entrance with Connor or I'm going to lose it, Martha says. I'm so done with this place. Fair enough, I respond. And it is fair. She's been taken from her home. I haven't said anything, and I'm not going to, but I'm dreading her leaving. I don't want to be alone again. Chapter 31. The End. Danny's perspective. Tune in tomorrow.